I like the results from the morphing piano curve so much, I decided to try it again with the Hilbert curve. Some kind of neat results. It's not quite perfect. It's fun to watch, but it's a little bit messy. The Hilbert curve, like the piano curve, is a fractal. Each thing is made from an earlier version. But that isn't really obvious. Let me try that again. This time I'm cheating a little bit. I'm only doing every other one. And that seems to help some. It's still not perfect. But it looks pretty good. Let's try something similar. I'm going to jump from the first one to some of the more complicated ones. Yeah. I love projects that are fun to stare at. Okay, so I made some improvements here. Basically, I broke it up. It used to try to match the corners better. Now it's doing the matching by length. So several short segments might match to one long segment. That helped a lot. It's still not perfect. Okay, so here I added some colors, just trying to understand what's going on, trying to see the recursive nature. And you can see each time what is growing into what. Pretty cool, isn't it? Kind of get a stained glass feeling out of some of these colors. Slightly different version of the same thing, coloring it by the result, not by the original like I did before. And I think I'm finally seeing what's going on. Do you see it? Okay, this next one, it's about perfect, and the colors will show you why. Did you catch that? Each time the first generation turns into the second, then the second turns into a bunch of the first ones with those little gray separators in between them. Let's take another look. Notice how the separators keep getting smaller. That's why they call this a space-filling curve. The idea is if I went on forever, even though the lines are infinitely thin, they're getting infinitely close together. And I think you kind of get a feel for that. I got a little bit sidetracked. I was staring real close at the corners, and I had to get them just perfect. Did you notice the difference? I'll put it up on the screen. Originally, the gray separators were sometimes on top. Now they're always on the bottom. And the last thing I did, I made the gray separators with round ends, and the important parts with square ends. And that seemed to make everything come together just perfectly. The next problem. When it gets really busy, it's hard to follow the curve. So I made a change. I'm going to use different colors in a way that it highlights how far you've gone. I'm interpolating between the red and the blue. So hopefully this should be easier to see where the path is moving, even as the path gets more and more complicated. Well, that was a good start, but let's use more colors. I already have that whole rainbow. So instead of repeating it over and over, let me just interpolate between these colors. I can make as many different shades as I want, but I'm only going through the colors once. So maybe that'll make it more obvious where the line is moving. Well, if a rainbow's good, why not a double rainbow? No, we can do even better than this. Now we got it. Now you can see the motion. moving rainbow. I'm back to the 9 colors that I like, my favorite colors of the rainbow, the ones that work well. They're all distinct, so you can see what's going on. And I just love the way that that red moved from the left, and it's now on the right, and it's almost to the bottom. Yeah, I think this is the way to see the Hilbert curve and where it's going. After this, I tried a bunch of different artistic things. This one was probably my favorite. Leah helped me with this. Good to have a real artist in the family. Kind of trippy, isn't it? I could stare at this all day long. So, what's next? I've also been making a lot of improvements behind the scenes, cleaning up my tools. If you go to GitHub, I'll leave a link in the description. You can see a complete list, but these hotkeys are really nice, one of my favorites, so I don't have to jump around as much. But also this whole idea of a showcase. Too many of my examples, I'm working on something and then I'm working on something different and I'm just evolving it. So the idea of the showcase is to keep things around that, just simple examples that I can copy and paste and not have to start from scratch every time I want to do something. Making a lot of good progress, but as always, it is a work in progress. Confused. Working on that one right now. All right, more to come. See you soon. Thanks for watching.